The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? It's the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on this Monday morning, hoping that everybody's having themselves a fantastic day so far today. I do look weird without a hat, so I got to put a hat back on. Trim the beard up a little bit, but we're doing all right. Hope everyone, once again, is having a great day, had a great weekend, all that fun stuff. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the NFL draft, what's going on with the NFL playoffs, any of your sports observations from the weekend. Go ahead and let me know what you think. Now, you obviously know, if you've been listening to the show, watching the show for a long time, what my thoughts are with what happened this weekend. Because, one, I think the Dallas Cowboys had themselves a pretty decent draft. We'll go over that in a little bit. But, two, the San Antonio Spurs winning both games in Portland, one without Victor Wembanyama and the other one with Victor Wembanyama coming back from a 19-point deficit. Absolutely loved it. What's up, Tommy? Hope you're having a great day, my dude. Nice to see you here on this Monday morning. How do you feel following the Dallas Cowboys draft? I know we spoke about the first round on Friday. First round I felt was good. Defensive players is what the Dallas Cowboys needed. They went after some defense. I was hoping and hoping and hoping that Rodriguez would be there at linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, get swept up by the Miami Dolphins. But man, it would have been perfect. If the Cowboys would have been able to address the secondary, the defensive line, and the linebacking core with their first three picks in the draft, it would have been absolutely phenomenal. But nonetheless, we'll talk about that coming up here in just a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about my San Antonio Spurs coming back yesterday from being down 19 points, going into halftime, and then coming back and just beating the brakes off of the Portland Trailblazers, 114-93. A 40-point turnaround from in one half. It was phenomenal basketball to watch. I didn't get to watch all of it. I was working yesterday, rather. day game for the El Paso Chihuahuas. It was a fun time. Hope to see you guys out there sometime. Enough plugs for them. Get paid for that. But San Antonio now up 3-1 over Portland. It looks like I got to go to the to my bracket here. We all know I love my NBA bracket because if I'm not mistaken, the Spurs are going to get the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes. Well, either the Timberwolves or the Nuggets. The Nuggets not looking good at this point in time. The Denver Nuggets, they've got a lot of questions that are going to have to be answered going here in the future, man, because they've got, whenever you fired Michael Malone and you go in the direction of getting another coach, but Michael Malone was your guy leading you to the playoffs. You were a 3 seed then, all that other stuff. You have to be better. And if the Denver Nuggets get bounced out of the first round of the playoffs to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, if I'm not mistaken, have some injuries as well. Like, it's not a good look for Denver at all. Like you have to have another coaching change. And that's going to be a bigger issue moving forward for them. I'm looking at it. They don't have any injuries right now. I remember seeing something. So I'll have to keep my eye on that one. Maybe they're just keeping it close to the vest. But I'll keep an eye on that one. No injuries for the Minnesota Timberwolves at this moment. But no matter what happens, right? Like whether it's Minnesota, whether it's Denver, I was terrified of it being Denver. So I am happy that Minnesota is doing to Denver what they're doing to them right now. As a San Antonio Spurs fan. Again, the Spurs won 30 of 34 games. And 3 of the 4 losses they had in that span were to the Denver Nuggets. So I am glad to see that the Denver Nuggets might be taken out of the puzzle here for the San Antonio Spurs moving forward. Now, the biggest thing that surrounds me with the San Antonio Spurs is obviously going to be the health of Victor Wembanyama. How's he going to hold up following the concussion protocol? He said he wasn't happy with the concussion protocol. If you didn't see the play, Wemby just went face first into the court. Very, very ugly fall that Victor Wembanyama had. As a Spurs fan, I was terrified, but it's all good. He's back. He's feeling better. He's doing his thing. But San Antonio being able to come back yesterday, once again being down 19, winning by 21, a 40-point turnaround for the San Antonio Spurs off of Victor Wembanyama's, 35 points, 11 rebounds, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 7 blocks, 4 steals, 4 assists. Like, the dude is just unstoppable. Again, as a Spurs fan, it feels like we've got a cheat code. I don't feel like I should be happy, but I'm more nervous than I am happy with the San Antonio Spurs. I think Portland's a pretty damn good team. Obviously, they're not near as good as San Antonio is, but they were a pretty decent team this year. If they had Damian Lillard, maybe it's going to be a little bit of a different story, but everything heading back to San Antonio, I believe the next game is going to be on Tuesday. You have to think the Spurs get the gentleman's sweep here. It's just, there's nothing on Portland and really nobody in the NBA that can stop Victor Wembanyama whenever Wemby gets rolling. Like, it's just that simple. Nothing that can really make you question or think about what could be or what might be if Victor Wembanyama stays healthy this offseason. This guy saying, you don't have to do this. The internet is forever. I know. It's wild. I've been doing this for a while, my guy. It's insane. I appreciate it, though. The internet is forever. Just like this comment. And vaginas like you who don't have an actual picture, who hide behind anonymity. The internet is forever, and they'll always remember you as a big coward. I love that. I love people hating on it, right? Like, maybe it's not as great as people think it is, but you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm happy doing it. That's what matters. As long as I'm happy, I don't care. But again, the San Antonio Spurs out here doing their thing, absolutely dominating right now. I was worried about that game 3. I was. No Wemby. I didn't think it was going to happen for the San Antonio Spurs. They were able to go out there, get themselves a big win, sweep in Portland, moving forward now. it's going to be a tough one for the Spurs moving forward, but it's all good. I am a happy man. The other teams that played yesterday, the Houston Rockets beating the brakes off of the LA Lakers. Absolutely dominating them, 115-96. Another dominant performance by the Houston Rockets right now. Houston had to win that game. Obviously, you're down 3-0. You had to come back and show some sort of life. Maybe this gets it going for the Houston Rockets, but I don't feel like they have really any. Houston trying to be able to come back from being down 3-1 is going to be extremely difficult. You got to win 4 in a row. It's not going to be easy for them to be able to get that done. But they have some guys on that team, right? Like they get a healthy Kevin Durant, they get somebody like that, they might be okay. But you still have to think the ball's in the Lakers' court right now. The Lakers being up 3-1 on that one. LeBron James playing out of his damn mind right now. Kevin Durant is currently listed as day-to-day, according to head coach Ime Udoka. His status has changed game to day due to a left ankle injury. But you still have to think, like Kevin Durant, if whatever you get from Kevin Durant is better than getting nothing, right? And you look at that game from yesterday, that was kind of what we expected the Houston Rockets to do. They should have been much better than what they've given us so far. Kevin Durant can't be that important to your team whenever he's as old as he is, as geriatric as he is. And you look at the LA Lakers, like maybe they get Luka back, maybe they get something, Austin Reeves back, something like that. It would be a scary team for the LA Lakers. They win this round. Maybe they move on to Oklahoma City. We all know Oklahoma City is more than likely going to beat the brakes off of the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers, I don't think, are going to be able to hold a competitive match against the Oklahoma City Thunder, but anything can happen. You get a healthy LeBron James, you get a healthy Austin Reeves, you get a healthy Luka Doncic. That might be all you need. And they're proving it right now, right? Like Houston, a lot of people would have thought that Houston would have been a formidable team. But Houston not that good. LA destroying them, despite the fact that they only had one game separating them at the end of the regular season. Houston as the 5 seed, LA as the 4 seed. Again, looking at the playoff bracket, it would be right now the Thunder versus the Lakers and the Timberwolves versus the Spurs. The Nuggets would have to be the more disappointing team out of all that, right? Like I know Houston would be disappointing as well. Phoenix, I don't think anyone had any expectations for. Portland, I don't think anyone had any expectations for. But in the Western Conference, it's got to be the Denver Nuggets. If the Nuggets get bounced out right now, right? They're down 3-1. Yes, they're going to be going back to Denver. Maybe they get a couple of wins there, make it a 7-game series or something like that. But it would have to be absolutely astronomical. Like the chances of the Denver Nuggets coming back against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It would have to be absolutely astronomical. They would be the biggest disappointment so far. And again, going back to you fired Michael Malone. You've got arguably the best player in basketball right now. Let's see how long Nikola Jokic can hold on to that, but he is the best basketball player in the NBA right now. You got all those things kind of in your favor. You beat one of the hottest teams to end the regular season. 3 out of the 4 times you matched up against them. You beat the brakes off of them. And you can't get out of the first round of the playoffs against the Minnesota Timberwolves? I know the Minnesota Timberwolves are a halfway decent matchup, but we've seen it time and time again. In the playoffs, whenever you have a big that can shoot from the outside, Rudy Gobert becomes nothing. He becomes a turnstile on defense. He becomes a defensive liability. Yes, he's a defensive player of the year, but he doesn't have the lateral quickness or the ability to stay out of the paint that a lot of other perimeter defenders have. So Rudy Gobert just becomes a defensive liability for most teams, especially when you got a guy like Nikola Jokic who can shoot from the outside and who can do everything that he can do. But the Minnesota Timberwolves are dominating this series so far. Again, I would be happy as a Spurs fan to not get the Denver Nuggets. Very happy to not get the Denver Nuggets. However, there's a part of me that wants the Denver Nuggets. Like, you to be the best, you got to beat the best. That's what I want. I want the Spurs to beat the best. But, if the cards don't land the way they land, you wind up losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves, well, then you weren't really one of the best. My opinion, right? You're a 3 seed losing to a 6 seed. Not really one of the best. The Minnesota Timberwolves should more than likely win this series within the next 2 games. Maybe Jokic gets on one following the game yesterday where he went over to old boy. Yes, scoring a layup late in the game when no one is playing anymore is like the unwritten rules of basketball and all that stuff. Jokic running over there. Jokic being the defender of basketball is weird to me. Where he's the guy who looks like he can't stand the game at all. Where he looks bored half the time. He won a championship and was like, I just want to go home to my horses. That guy being the defender of basketball and the unwritten rules of basketball was mind-blowing to me. But again, I put it up here before. Maybe I still have the picture up in my assets. No, I don't. I'm not going to look for it right now either. Nikola Jokic, he comes running at you. Your ass is going to get scared. I know the guy yesterday was like, what did you think whenever you saw Jokic running at you? He's like, I didn't think anything. I just saw a big-ass dude that was mad. I thought that was great. That's like the perfect way to say it. I don't know what to think about it. Jokic is big as hell. He was running after me. I was scared. I ran for my life. What do you expect me to do? So that's the Western Conference right now. The Thunder leading the Suns 3-0. The Lakers leading the Houston Rockets 3-1 after Houston came back yesterday, beat the Lakers in a must-win game for 115-96. The Nuggets with a 3-1 lead over, or the Timberwolves rather, with a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets following the game on Saturday. And then, of course, the Spurs and the Trailblazers, San Antonio leading that series 3-1. Moving over to the Eastern Conference. The Detroit Pistons have won 2 in a row after dropping the first. They're going to have another game later on today on NBC Peacock. I do love that the NBA is back on Peacock. The Pistons should have no problems with the Magic, but the Magic have been kind of scrappy, giving the Pistons a lot of run here. Like these games have been competitive. I'm not going to say they've been close, but they've been competitive until the fourth quarter. I just don't think that on Peacock, NBC Peacock, Augustine, that's where they are. Thank you for joining today. Hope that you're having a great day so far, Augustine. Hop in the cock and watch the Detroit Pistons take on the Orlando Magic, Augustine. I know it's going to be one of your favorite things to do. I love whenever I get to hop in the cock and watch basketball. That's so stupid. Tommy, I'm sorry if your kids are in the car. But the Pistons right now, or no, Orlando's leading the series. Oh, my God. I read that completely wrong. Orlando's leading that series? There's no way. Oh, man. Like, I know Strilla. You're not watching right now. My dude, Brian Arndt, be Strilla. I can't believe I read that wrong. I knew it sounded wrong. Augustine saying that was worse than just the tip. It is. It really much is. Tommy saying earmuffs. He has the kids earmuffing the whole time as he's driving in the car, dropping them off to school. Thank you, Tommy. That is responsible parenting. Make sure you listen to the show at all times, no matter what happens. But yeah, the Orlando Magic being up 2-1 on Detroit. Man. I need the chaos, right? Like, again, you guys know me. I love an upset. I need the chaos as long as it doesn't happen to my team. I need the chaos of the Orlando Magic beating the Detroit Pistons in this series. It would just be absolutely beautiful, delicious chaos that we need in the world of sports. The Cleveland Cavaliers and Toronto Raptors are tied 2-2. That's been a fun series. Cleveland has been kind of underwhelming. I thought Cleveland would be a much better team. I thought they would dominate this series. I like the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't know what it is about their roster construction. Maybe it's just a bad matchup with Toronto. But if you can't get past the Toronto Raptors, you've got some damn problems, man. The New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks are tied 2-2 as well. Again, you know me. I want the chaos of the Knicks losing in the playoffs just because it would be fantastic. Danhausen cursing Stephen A. Smith. They gave me hope for two things. One, that the New York Knicks were going to lose. And two, that the Dallas Cowboys might win a Super Bowl. And I told my friends, because they're big WWE guys, I'm a big WWE guy, you can tell by the stuff surrounding me, that if the Dallas Cowboys were to win a Super Bowl within, the next couple of years, the Danhausen curse on Stephen A. allows the Dallas Cowboys to win themselves a Super Bowl. I will get a Danhausen tattoo on my calf. I'd have to get another tattoo first because Danhausen being my first tattoo would not be cool. I just thought of a funny joke. I'll do that one a little bit later. That'll be a skit that I do on the thing. Augustine saying, ha, 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 the Cowboys winning, LOL. Look, man. Look, don't hate on the Dallas Cowboys. Don't hate on the Dallas Cowboys. They'll be all right. They're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. Although we can talk about the draft coming up in just a little bit. The Boston Celtics beating the brakes off of the Philadelphia 76ers. Everything in Philadelphia is absolute garbage sauce. I will stand by that until the end of time. 128-96 was the beatdown that the Celtics gave the 76ers yesterday. Boston leading that series 3-1. It would be disappointing if Cleveland loses. It would be disappointed if the Knicks lose as well, especially that huge fan base. Basketball is better whenever the Knicks are relevant. I will agree with that, hands down. But the biggest disappointment in the East would be if the Detroit Pistons are the team that winds up losing, right? Like if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, it would be wild. And then knowing that this game is in the Kia Center, Game 4 is going to be in the Kia Center. Orlando has all the momentum right now. You win both games at home if you're the Orlando Magic, and you go up 3-1 against the Detroit Pistons, a team that a lot of people thought, myself included, could make a deep playoff run. You go up 3-1 on the Detroit Pistons, it's going to be hard, very hard, for the Detroit Pistons to come back on that because they haven't shown you anything. They haven't shown you right now, right? Like in order for you to have faith in Detroit, they have to come out tonight and beat the brakes, like just beat the absolute brakes off of the Orlando Magic. I'm also like, I'm looking at this thing by Vivid Seats right now, and the fact that you can go to an NBA playoff game in Orlando for $81 is insane to me. Like, I get it. You got Disneyland there. Like, you're competing with Disney all year long. But 81 games for a playoff seat? Man, no one must care about basketball in Orlando. Shit, man. Augustine saying it's not hate. It's the truth. It's 30 years. 30 years of ineptitude with the Dallas Cowboys. I know. I get it. I understand. I've lived it, Augustine. You're preaching to the choir, my guy. I know all about this. I've suffered more than most. Tommy and I. We have meetings where we talk about each other's suffering as we watch our beloved Dallas Cowboys just be absolute dumpster sauce. And yes, Augustine, you are right. The 49ers is worse. The Washington Commanders are worse. I've done this time and time again. Right? Teams that have won a championship or have had a championship drought longer than the Dallas Cowboys. You've either never won a championship or you've had a drought longer than the Dallas Cowboys. And I want to say it's 18 teams. Maybe we go through it right now. Actually, no. We'll wait a little bit. We'll go through it in a little bit. But there are Again, a ton of teams that are just not up to par. I said it. The Dallas Cowboys are one of them. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are the problem. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Yes, that's the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, guys. I got a text right now. Have a meeting at 10 o'clock. Leave here by now. I should be able to get down to downtown by 10 o'clock. No big problem. We'll be able to do it. We'll get it done. Okay. Orlando is a huge underdog in this game against the Detroit Pistons. Pablo Banchero doing a great job leading in rebounds and points for the for the Orlando Magic. Cade Cunningham averaging 24 points a game and 9.5 or almost 10 assists a game as well. Again, I just want the chaos. I need the chaos of the Detroit Pistons losing. It would be delicious. I just absolutely need that. If the Pistons lose, you'd get the Magic versus the winners of the Raptors or the Cavaliers. That's been a fun series. I need to actually watch some of those games. I just only watched the recaps, but I need to actually make some time and watch some of those games. I don't have any baseball games today. I have a soccer game on Saturday. Hopefully the Spurs win tomorrow. I believe the Spurs are playing. Got to double check. Yeah, they play tomorrow at 7:30. Tickets at the Frost Bank Center. You can get as low as $138. I don't know if you all saw, if you follow me on Instagram at Mr. Tipton 33. I put up a story, self-deprecating humor about the San Antonio Spurs fans. It was like a scene from that movie, The Whale. I haven't seen that movie. I want to see that movie. It's a life story about me, The Whale. But he's having a hard time getting out of the chair, and it's like, oh, San Antonio Spurs fans, whenever the PA announcer says, get on your feet, make some noise, and they just can't stand up. Because like Charles Barkley said, there are some big-ass women in San Antonio. That's all good. I love them. Everyone loves a torta. We just call that extra flavor, baby. That's something on my hand right now. Did not feel good. But yeah, Spurs close out tomorrow. Maybe I get to watch that game. I'm thinking of where I should be able to go. Augustine saying The Whale is an okay movie. I've heard a lot of like mixed reviews on it. But like some people tell me it's a really good movie. It's an emotional movie. It gets you in your feels is a thing. I'm one of these people though, like I do like movies that make you feel. But I also don't go like seek them out. If it makes me feel and I wasn't expecting to feel, then that's awesome, right? Gone in 60 Seconds, whenever they crush Eleanor, the most heartbreaking part of my life. Augustine saying it's blah. Well, it's because of like how fat he is, like how grotesque and fat he is. Is that what you don't like, Augustine? I need to watch the movie. I've been told by people that I need to watch it. Many people are saying. Augustine saying Hachi is a heartbreaking film. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of Hachi. I also feel like you're fucking with me now. You're like, nope. Mike was getting serious. Let's come up with something else. Hachi. I'm gonna have to look it up. I also feel like if I look it up, it's gonna be something bad. At the time that you send me links, I know anytime Augustine sends me a link, I am terrified of it. I always feel like it's going to be something super inappropriate just because of the relationship that I have with Augustine. I know that he's very comfortable sending me very inappropriate things. Augustine going on trying to defend himself, saying, no. It's a lemming movie? I don't know what that is. I don't know any of that, Augustine. All I know is whenever it comes to your recommendations, I'm not taking it all. I'm just taking just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in. for
just a tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Guys, it's that time of the year. It's starting to get hot. It's starting to get sweaty. You're not going to be comfortable doing any of the stuff that you're normally used to doing. So what happened is myhappynuts.com. It's rocket science for where the sun don't shine. They went and they did all the research. They went above and beyond and even down below to figure out what would be best to make guys feel at their absolute best. And it's a comfort cream. It's a comfort powder. It's all of the stuff that you need, even the whole body deodorant. Hell, I took a shower and I smell like the big wood right now. Absolutely amazing. Rocket science for where the sun don't shine. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. Augustine's saying, how did they do the research? Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, my guy. Sometimes you got to get down and dirty. You got to get your hands in places that people won't want your hands to be. That came out really bad. I need to rephrase that. I was going to say you need to get your hands dirty, but that also sounded bad. I tried to save it, and no matter what I did, it just kept getting worse. So, Augustine, to answer your question, I don't know how they did the research, but I'm glad they did. And so should you be. www.myhappynuts.com. Check them out today. The most ridiculous ass product I have. But you know what? It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Guys, do it for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is right around the corner, right? May 10th. Mother's Day. Make sure your boys are nice and smooth. Maybe you get to make... That was going to come off bad. Maybe you get to make somebody a mother. Augustine saying, was Beastrilla involved? I'm sure he was. Whenever you got those big, beefy men just slapping beef with each other, it's America's favorite pastime. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the NFL draft. I got to get over to my website that I have. Look at me using technology. We're going to go over all of the draft. Every pick. We're not doing every pick. That would be absolutely horrible. I don't think anybody would want to do that. But again, like going over the Dallas Cowboys, they got Caleb Downs. They got Malachi Lawrence helping out the offense or helping out the defense, getting the much needed help in the secondary, getting help along the defensive line. That's what they needed to do. Going over in the second round, let's see who the Cowboys selected. San Francisco had a pretty damn good draft, too. The Giants had such a good draft. I am terrified. I hope the Giants continue doing what the Giants do, but I am terrified at the prospect of how good this team could be. Getting Colton Hood out of Tennessee, helping out that defensive back room that they've got. It was so good for them. So good for them. Carson Beck going number 1 in the third round to the Arizona Cardinals. I was surprised about that. I know the Rams traded up to get Ty Simpson, and you thought to yourselves, that's kind of weird, but maybe they were doing it to make sure Arizona didn't get him. But I didn't think Arizona was going to trade up to get to 13 after just drafting Jeremiah Love. And I know that they need a quarterback in Arizona. Jacoby Brissett ain't that guy. Gardner Minshew ain't that guy. But I do kind of like the Carson Beck pick. I think Carson Beck is a very pro-ready quarterback. So I think that's going to be good for them. And if you're the Rams, I really do feel like you could have got Ty Simpson in the second round. Like him being picked that high is crazy to me, but I'm just some dude. What do I know about things? The Giants also getting Malachi Fields, a wide receiver out of Notre Dame. Their wide receiving core is going to be interesting to watch. I think they lost Wan'Dale Robinson. Darius Slayton's okay, but he's getting old. It's all going to depend on what happens with Malik Neighbors. Like, how does he come back from this ACL injury? And granted, the good thing now is that the ACL injury ain't the devastating thing that it used to be a bunch of years ago. It's, a pretty manageable thing that they can do now. So hopefully he's able to come back and have himself a little bit of a career resurgence. I don't know why I'm saying that about the Giants, though. Like, as a Cowboys fan, I don't want that. Augustine asking Carson Beck, he is ready, but does he have all the necessary people around him? Arizona's got a stacked running back room, right? You got Tyler Algiers. You got James Conner. You just drafted Jeremiah Love. So you'll be able to hand the ball off to some guys. Marvin Harrison Jr. should be a number one wide receiver. I'm stalling because I can't remember the name of their tight end. I know their tight end is really good. God bless it. Now I got to figure out. Is it McBride? It is Trey McBride, right? Yes. I knew I'd get there. Trey McBride is a great wide receiver. Like that's a great safety blanket. But if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, like I know I need more. And if you look at your roster right now, Carson Beck should probably just sit this entire season. You drafted him in the third round, so there's no pressure to get him out there, day one. Let Gardner Minshew get beat up. Let Jacoby Brissett get beat up. Let Carson Beck learn. Stockpile draft picks this season. And then let Carson Beck take over next year after being able to watch a full year. Maybe he comes in the last game of the year. You just see what he's got. But you let Carson Beck develop. You don't have to throw him into the fire right away. And you kind of build around that. You should be okay. I still don't have faith in Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know how much of that was because of Kyler Murray just not being a good quarterback. I got no problem with short quarterbacks. Drew Brees is the guy who always comes to mind. Doug Flutie comes to mind as well. I'm old enough to remember all that, right? But Kyler Murray just wasn't it. Kyler should have stayed in baseball. I feel like he would have been a great second baseman. I genuinely believe that. The Dallas Cowboys in the third round took Jayshon Barham, edge rusher out of Michigan. Again, helping out the defensive line, right? Like that's what we wanted as Dallas Cowboys fans. We wanted them to just stockpile on defense. Defense. I'm looking at the fourth round. We had a bunch of stuff going on Saturday, so I wasn't able to watch it. They go out and they get a cornerback, Devin Moore, out of Florida, again, helping out the secondary. Augustine saying, well, Carson Beck is 6'5". That's got to be helpful to the receivers, right? And again, I'm a short dude. I'm 5'10". I am not tall by any means. Above average, though. Not tall by any means. But if you have a 6'5" quarterback, you can see where the ball's coming from as a receiver, as opposed to looking and then hoping that you see the ball come over the offensive line. That should be helpful to the Arizona Cardinals. I feel like they have another wide receiver, don't they? It's not just Marvin Harrison. We're going to the Arizona Cardinals roster website. Tommy's saying all but 2 picks for the Dallas Cowboys were on defense, which was great. Your first 4 picks being on defense is what we needed as Dallas Cowboys fans. Was I thinking of Michael Wilson? Michael Wilson's not great. Smith Marset isn't great. Holy shit, Simi's still playing? That's funny. I couldn't have been. Yeah, there's no way that I was thinking about like Devin Duvernay. I don't know why I thought that Arizona had more than just a wide receiver. Like Michael Wilson, okay, I guess. Also, I did see this, a backup tight end for the Arizona Cardinals. His name is Tip Riemann. We have to get Tip Riemann on the show. Tip Riemann has to be our guy. His 3rd year in the NFL, 6'5", 271, just a big boy. 13 receptions for 18 yards. He's a unit. He's absolutely a unit. I mean, I know they've got McBride, Tommy, but I was thinking that they had another wideout. I don't know what it was where I thought they had another wideout. I do like the Jeremiah Love pick for them. I think it's okay. But I don't know, man. I feel like they could have done better. Like you should have gotten an offensive lineman there. Someone to help out protect your quarterback. Someone, maybe even a defensive lineman. Like you had so many possibilities to get there. I don't think you needed Jeremiah Love. You don't need a running back of the future. But hey, it's the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to do their thing. Our guy, the Crooked Commish, tuning in saying, "What's good, Money Mike?" Not much, brother. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day. How do you feel about your Chicago Bears draft? Augustine, how do you feel about your New England Patriots draft? I got caught up in a Tip Riemann. Just wormhole. I got to find a way to get Tip Riemann to be a part of the show. Dallas Cowboys also got Drew Shelton, an offensive lineman out of Penn State. I like it, getting offensive line help. I do too, Tommy. I really do feel like the Arizona Cardinals panicked, right? Like they had to look at Jeremiah Love, obviously the best of the board. But he wasn't what you needed in that position, right? Like you didn't need to take him at 4. Like maybe I'm the guy that like I don't think trading is playing it safe, but it also feels like it is playing it safe. I'd have traded that pick, right? Like I don't feel like you really needed to get Jeremiah Love, but it is what it is. Dallas Cowboys waited until the 5th round, 4th round to get themselves an offensive lineman. After that, traded and got themselves a cornerback. Again, I really do feel like the Dallas Cowboys had a really good. So Augustine saying that, or Tommy saying Augustine doesn't know who the Patriots picked. LOL. Give some love to the commish as well. Augustine saying the Patriots had an okay draft. The Patriots are making a ton of moves in the first round. I remember that. Let's see what they did. Ryan Clark giving the Dallas Cowboys love is a weird one for me. But that Caleb Downs, I cannot believe that Caleb Downs was available for the Dallas Cowboys. The Kirk Commission, I got mixed feelings. Love the first pick, was okay with the second, but the other tight end was a head scratcher, and the wide receiver from LSU was probably the reach of the draft. Cornerback from Texas will be nice. I don't get, like, maybe the Chicago Bears are going to lead the NFL in tight ends, right? Like, But we scratched our head last year whenever they got Love. Why can't I think of it? Colson Loveland, right? I was gonna say Loveston. Tommy saying steal of the draft, talking about Caleb Downs. Again, I could not believe that he was available for the Dallas Cowboys. I know the Cowboys traded up a pick to get him, but man, I'm so glad that he was there. The commission saying the Bears are clearly going to be running a shit ton of 12-man sets. Oh, 100%. They might lead the league in 3 tight end sets. Roma Dunze, 3 tight ends. Like that's what the lineup is going to look like. 31 for the Chicago Bears, man. It's going to be fun to watch. Obviously saying Caleb Lamore was okay. Gabe Yakas, but non-screams big. I mean, but Patriots going out, getting help on the offensive line. That's what you need to be good. Again, they made it to a Super Bowl. We'll see what happens with Stephon Diggs. But going in and building from the interior out, I love that approach. I was trying not to yawn right there. I agree, Tommy. And that's why I was so like, I thought they would have to trade so much. I thought it was going to wind up being like they're both first round picks in order to move up to get to where they can get Caleb Downs. So that's why I was so like, I don't think it's going to happen. But it actually happened, which is, I hope they give him 31. He could wear that Roy Williams number. Oh, I loved me some Roy Williams. I did really like that the Kansas City Chiefs were able to trade up as well. They got Mansour Delane, a cornerback, wind up trading Trent McDuffie as well. It was a solid first round for everyone involved, I think. Then they go out and they get defensive tackle Peter Woods out of Clemson, helping out that defensive line, right? Like the Kansas City Chiefs, to me, did a really good job this draft. And again, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are happy being in this weird purgatory of we're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. There's no need to rush back Patrick Mahomes. So why not just do your thing, right? Build from the inside out, address the positions of help that you need, and the Kansas City Chiefs did exactly that. I liked what the Kansas City Chiefs did. I also loved, I know that this is going to be weird, but I love the fact that the Jets got 3 first-round picks. They got Omar Cooper Jr., help out in the wide receiver core, Garrett Wilson. Maybe it's the lack of an actual quarterback, but Garrett Wilson last year, not great. And they got Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon as a tight end. And David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech. Like, that was a solid draft for the New York Jets in the first round. I wouldn't have ever thought that I would say, like, oh, the Jets did pretty good. But the Jets did pretty good for being the Jets. They didn't jet it. They did pretty good. I still don't know how I feel about Vegas taking Fernando Mendoza. I don't know how successful he's going to be. And maybe that's me being an asshole. Like, I question that pickup immensely because I still feel like they could have, the Las Vegas Raiders, they could have done so much more. You could have traded that pick and got something more. Helped out your team in the future. I hate whenever a quarterback who, I'll just say, a young quarterback goes to a shitty situation. And the Raiders are a bad situation. Even with as bad as the Kansas City Chiefs might be this year without Patrick Mahomes, at least for the first half of the season, the best case scenario for the Las Vegas Raiders is the 4th place team in the division. You're not better than the Chargers. You're not better than the Broncos. You're maybe better than a hurt Kansas City Chiefs team. You're still going to be a bottom-dwelling team. I know they got Kirk Cousins there, so maybe Mendoza sits behind Kirk Cousins. But being the number one overall pick, you've got to find your way into the starting rotation. This is exactly what happened with Atlanta when they had Kirk Cousins. Sign Kirk Cousins in free agency. Draft Michael Penix, I want to say it was top 10, top 15 for sure. Definitely a first-round pick. And it was like, we need to get Michael Penix out there. And we saw last year, Michael Penix wasn't great, right? Like the last 2 seasons, Michael Penix isn't great. Kyle Pitts had his best, season with Kirk Cousins back there throwing the ball. But because you're a first-round pick, the pressure for you to get out there and perform is always going to be there. So I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's setting up Mendoza for failure, and I just don't like that. The cricket commission saying that he likes Ty Simpson going to the Rams. No shittier situation than going to a team where the head coach didn't seem to want to pick you. I mean, I get it. McVay's reaction wasn't great, but you also have to realize you have the MVP quarterback right now. I know you're not going to have Matt Stafford for the future, but you also don't want to seem like it was your decision to draft a quarterback to replace Matt Stafford, right? Like, he just won the MVP. He's won a Super Bowl for your team. He's arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen play the damn game. It just sucks that he was in Detroit for so long. Like, imagine if Stafford had been on good teams for a long time. Anyway, I think that's what it was. It's like walking that fine line of, I don't want to seem too eager and I don't want to seem, too nonchalant about it. Augustine saying, Stafford, don't you mean Sam Bradford? Of course, that's my bad. That's my bad. Oklahoma guy, Sam Bradford, arguably Tommy's favorite quarterback to come out of Oklahoma. Who would be the best quarterback to come out of Oklahoma? That's Troy's on there, right? But do you associate Troy more with Oklahoma or UCLA? It's got to be UCLA. Carson Beck going to the Cardinals is a shitty situation too, though. At least the Raiders have Kirk for Mendoza to learn from. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, for all his faults, Jacoby Brissett is a great glue guy, right? Like that's the type of guy that you want. Here's a guy that you want to be your guy, right? Like he can teach because he's been through it all, and he's halfway decent. Gardner Minshew, another one of these journeyman quarterbacks and stuff like that. It would have been okay. I think it's going to be okay. Doesn't have to start. That's the main thing. Doesn't have to start. Augustine saying, question, would putting Stafford in Brady's shoes, would Stafford have won that many Super Bowls? No. I don't think so. Like, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. You got to remember what fueled Tom Brady, right? Like, it's the whole, I'm better than what people are giving me credit for. I have this massive chip on my shoulder that is going to motivate me through the history of time. Even whenever people were like, you're the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady would seem some sort of way to turn that into like, oh, you're being sarcastic. You don't like me. You're an asshole. Just anything of that nature. Tommy's saying Baker Mayfield would be the best quarterback to come out of Oklahoma. It's got to be there, right? Like it's got to be up there. It's not Jalen Hurts. It's not Kyler Murray. Baker Mayfield would be on that list. Yeah. There you go. Maybe Sam Bradford. Still going Sam Bradford. Winning in Detroit would be the same thing, LOL. The Crooked Commission, don't forget, Caleb Williams did spend a season in Oklahoma before I want to say Riley Leonard. It's not Riley Leonard. Why can't I get his name? I am bad with names today, guys. Lincoln Riley, before Lincoln Riley left to USC. Jesus Christ. I had the Riley and the L right there. Tommy's saying probably not the best, but my fave. Oh, Baker Mayfield. You know what? I'm not going to let you do this, Tommy. Baker Mayfield is a Texas Tech product. Wreck him. Oh, you can hear my phone going off right now, getting a lot of messages. Luckily, it's almost 9 o'clock for them. I'll be jumping in the car, going on my way in a little bit. Don't forget, we do have an El Paso Locomotive game this Wednesday, as we take on the Tulsa team, Tulsa Football Club, that's coming into El Paso. We're going to rock them. Hopefully, I'll see you all out there at the stadium that day. Mr. Foster, please let me be. It wasn't Mr. Foster. Not Mr. Foster. But it is all good. We are okay. USA. We'll be okay. I'm in the middle of, I think I've done 23 out of 24 days straight with work. The obsessive nature I have. I have to find a way to detach. That's why like the premise of Severance, if you haven't seen Severance on Apple TV, that to me would be perfect. I need to have that severance in my life. Yes, Lincoln Riley. That's what I said. I could have swore I said Lincoln Riley. I had the R, and like I had Riley, and then I had the L, but Riley Leonard, for whatever reason, came to mind. Why did Riley Leonard come to mind? Out of all the people to have possibly crossed my mind, why would Riley, like he's not even the best looking Notre Dame quarterback. That's clearly Sam Hartman. Sam Heartthrob. Why would Riley Leonard, of all people, cross my mind? It's the weird way my mind works. Yes, Lincoln Riley. Before going to USC, Caleb Williams was there with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. Tommy, what are your thoughts on Lincoln Riley? Tommy's my go-to Oklahoma guy here. Now, that's where Tommy and I have a little bit of love and appreciation for one another. Is my mom, being from Oklahoma, was a huge Oklahoma fan. And Tommy, as an Oklahoma fan, it makes me happy to see one in El Paso. Oh man, sorry, I was reading an email. That's funny. Okay, guys. Once again, I appreciate y'all so much for tuning into the show. I would love to keep the conversation going with the NFL draft. I just don't know how much longer we can talk about the NFL draft, especially with as amazing as the NBA playoffs have been. But I also feel like I'm the only person interested in the NBA playoffs. It's wild to me. Maybe it's because my team is good. Is that what it is? My San Antonio Spurs are out here. They look good. They're giving me hope, which, again, is the worst thing a team can give me. I feel like the only one interested in the NBA playoffs. I know I'm not. Stephen A. Tipton. I don't know about that part. Because if I was Stephen A. Tipton, I would just do the whole show talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, if that's what you want, Augustine, you asked for it, you got it. It's going to happen. That's why I know. I know, Tommy, we have the rivalry between you as a Mavericks fan and me as a Spurs fan. So I could understand you not engaging in the NBA playoff conversation. Seeing what a good franchise can do juxtaposed to the franchise you cheer for. But again, like I talk to my friends and it's like I'm the only one that cares about the NFL or about the NBA playoffs. It's wild. Anyway, once again, thank you all so much. I love and appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Once again, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you all then. Have a great day, everybody.